Hi, it's me, Nico, and today we're going to be talking about Jesse Blevins. I'm actually kind of excited about this because I found a treasure trove of information on him. And I'm just going to begin with, well, why don't we just start at the beginning, shall we? Um, the best source of information I found on Jesse Blevins, and it reads like a wonderful essay, and I'm going to read it to you, and I'll link it down below so you can read it yourselves. But I think it's the greatest source of information I have. Um, American Coffee Flashbacks at .wordpress.com. It's called "You Cheated, You Lied," Jesse Blevins and the Shields. The Shields occupy a unique place in the history of rock and roll, even though they existed only for a very short time. They left us with a classic 50s doo-wop record. The story of the Shields begins with the record producer George Mottola. He was born in Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah. We'll get down. Hold on. Okay. At Modern Records, he produced records by up-and-coming singer-songwriter Jesse Blevins, among other artists, and the two became friends. Jesse Lorenzo Blevin, born December 15th, 1932, in Texarkana, Texas, and died on February 6th, 1960. He was an American R&B singer, pianist, songwriter, popular in the 1950s, whose success was cut short by, well, we'll get to that. Okay, his career, let's see here. In 1950, he joined saxophonist Big J McNeely's backing vocal quartet, Three Dots and a Dash, and featured prominently on their record releases. In 1952, he joined Specialty Records. Although his early solo records were unsuccessful, his fourth record, Dream Girl, credited to Jesse and Marvin, featuring Marvin Phillips on saxophone, reached number 2 on the R&B charts. He was then drafted into the Army but continued to write songs. His composition, Earth Angel, eventually co-credited to Blevin and Hollywood Flame singer Curtis Williams and Gaynell Hodge. I think I said that right. Not sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong. After a legal dispute, was recorded by the Penguins and became one of the first R&B singles to cross over into the pop charts, selling 1 million copies in 1954 and 1955. In 1956, he signed a contract with Modern Records, but also continued to sing for other labels under different names. His biggest hit was "Goodnight, My Love," which reached number 7 on the R&B chart, and the piano on the session was reportedly played by an 11-year-old Barry White. The song became the closing theme to Alan Freed's rock and roll radio shows. Blevin's other recordings for Modern were less successful, and in 1958 he recorded on Dot Records with a group, the Shields, who included the singer Frankie Irvin and guitarist Johnny Guitar Watson. Their record, "You Cheated," reached number 15 on the U.S. pop charts and 11 on the R&B chart. He also recorded with Eugene Church as the Clicks on a less successful single, "Girl of My Dreams," which was covered by the Four Lovers, two of whose members, including Frankie Valli, would later become the Four Seasons. Inspired by his wife and manager, Joanne, to develop his style, he signed to RCA Records in 1959 and immediately had a top 40 hit with Guess Who, written by his wife. He also recorded an album, Just Jesse Blevin, developing a more mature and sophisticated sound on ballads. His style was influenced by Nat King Cole and Billy Eckstine. think that's right. I'm not sure. Um, and became a model for Sam Cooke and others. Now that's saying a lot. He acquired the nickname Mr. Easy, and the record company began molding him as a potential crossover star for white audiences, as well as a professional rival to Capitol Records recording star Nat King Cole. He recorded a further series of tracks later on that year with arranger Marty Paich, I don't know, Paich, I think it's Paich, and an orchestra including a saxophonist, Art Pepper. The songs included soulful covers like Blues in the Night, In the Still of the Night, and Making Whoopee, and were issued on the album Mr. Easy. However, before the album was issued, and shortly after finishing a performance in Little Rock with on the bill Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson, Marv Johnson, Blevin and his wife were killed in a head-on collision at Hope, Arkansas. The concert was the first concert played before an integrated audience in the history of Little Rock, and was stopped twice by interruptions from whites in the audience shouting racial epithets and urging the white teenagers in attendance to leave at once. There had also been several death threats on Blevin prior to the concert, which led to speculation that his car had been tampered with prior to the accident. The actual cause of the accident was the driver who nodded off and lost control. The driver had been recently fired for falling asleep behind the wheel by another musical act. Okay, so this is truly tragic because he was kind of riding high now with the big dogs, and he was really, I mean, most of those songs are still hits that we all hear today. I mean, surely the baby boomers mostly, but Gen Xers, we grew up with that, and we still play them in the background every once in a while for the sake of nostalgia. We remember mom or grandma used to, play that song and dance to it, so when we hear it, it's like, oh wow, memories flood. Or Nat King Cole even, but like this, he kind of made such a mark because he made such hugely impactful songs, and all of his, well, most of his songs were such hits, and he was able to record so many of them, but more so because he had the crossover audience, and because he did play for the first integrated crowd in Little Rock, Arkansas, that he made history, Jesse Blevins. And it's messed up that one night, all of a sudden, head-on collision, boom, he's gone. And whatever career he could have had was over just because someone nodded to sleep behind the wheel. And the guy was fired by another band for having done so already. I don't know why they hired him. Unless maybe, he had promised that I don't know. There's nothing that would justify that. I don't understand. Well, I don't understand the situation. But then again, I wasn't around back then. Well, Jesse Blevins. December 15th, 1932 to February 6th, 1960. He was a brilliant pianist, amazing songwriter, and he had such a smooth and suave voice. I'm going to link a couple of his songs below just so that you can take a listen, but I highly encourage you to go ahead and look up his music, because there's just something about his sound that's so smooth, so suave. And you can see how he influenced people like Nat King Cole and Sam Cooke. Or, well, he was influenced by Nat King Cole, sorry. But how he influenced Sam Cooke and others. You can almost hear it in their music. When you're listening to his, you can almost hear how he influenced their music. So I would encourage you to do so. On that note, I am going to try again come on more often and bring you more content. I just recently had surgery on my spine, so I'm going to be home and stuck here for a while. So for the next couple of weeks, I might actually record quite a few of these for you. Yeah, not just the 27 Club, but I'm throwing in a couple of other types of videos into the mix, just for she, me, her, we content. But hopefully, soon I will have my apartment back. Once I have talked management into doing what they need to do in this apartment, I can actually have a dedicated workspace and actually be able to research this without having to sit here in a little corner with my TV dinner tray and my laptop sitting right here, my camera sitting on my bed. So get out of my bed. It's 11:11 and I want to go to bed. So I will talk to you guys soon. Move. Bye.